Okay, ooh. Staring straight at me. All right. Why is this data structure important is the question. So far, what have we talked about so far? Let's see. Let me make sure I get this glare done for these people at home. That was cute. Let's try that again.
Nice box.
Thanks. Welcome, Damon. All right. So which data structures have we had so far? We've had array and linked list. I'm failing. I'm totally not getting promoted today.
Spelling.
I tried to help you out as much as I could.
That spelling just died.
Like I knew what I was talking
It's not happening today. All right. Oh well, that's fine. Okay. So we have add. What do we have here? Okay, that's totally off the board. So we're going to try that all again. Let's go over here with array and a linked list. That's going to be fun. All right, add. That's kind of a trick question, so let's change that to append. If we want to append to a linked list or to an array, what's the cost of that?
Well, it depends if there's like actually room for it, right?
Right. And we're going to go with unordered, because we got to write this all out. Unordered array, unordered linked list. We're going to go with ordered array, and then ordered. That's so hard to read, but that's okay. Linked list. So unordered array, you just put it in there wherever. Ordered array means you're trying to maintain the ordering, kind of like you're keeping it sorted. Okay. So if you're appending something to an array, what'd you say? It depends.
Well, I was like getting at it, like if there's not enough room, then you'd have to like make an entirely new array with more.
Right. So in the worst case, it would be O of n, but in the average or best case, it's O of 1. So we're going to do O of 1 / O of n. How about an ordered linked list? Unordered linked list.
That's O of 1 for both, right?
Yeah, it's O of 1 for the ordered linked list no matter what, which is great. Can you append to an ordered array and keep it sorted? Yeah, you have to find the location first, right? Yeah, so you have to find the location and then put it in there, and then you have to shift all your values down, which makes it a, what order of complexity here? You have to first find it, and that's usually, well, it's log of n because it's ordered, right? But then you have to shift everything down, which is O of n. And so since O of n is bigger than log of n, we're considering it an O of n operation. Everyone see that?
So when do you consider like an open top or n times log n?
So that's when you are doing O of n operation log n times. So like with our quick sort or merge sort, each level you're doing roughly O of n operations, but you had essentially log n levels. So it'd be log of n times O of n in that situation. It's easier to think about it as an n squared. If for every value you had to search through the array, or do something throughout the array, and then you had to do it to each value. So every value is n times n numbers for each array, then it's n squared. Log n similar, except for you do it log of n times instead of n times as well. I think I confused you.
Is it because when you do like basically when you do quick sort and merge sort, you're kind of cutting the size in half every time you do your search?
Right.
So that's what makes it log n.
Yeah, so you're doing it log n times, but each time you cut in half, you're still searching the entire array, or you're operating on the entire array, which makes it O of n operations for every cut in half. So it's log of n times n. It's hard to not do this. It's hard to explain it without being formal, and you'll get to a formal explanation in algorithms and hopefully in discrete math. But usually, just for now, if it's dividing in half, log n is the best thing to think of. Okay. Ordered linked list. We're appending, so we are, well, can we append to an ordered linked list?
Yes.
Well, we have to find it, so we have to insert it. So we have to look for it first. Can we do a binary search on an ordered linked list?
Yes. Technically. No.
How do we jump to the middle?
You gotta iterate through it.
We have to iterate through it. There's no way to sort it here. So this is still O of n. All right. I'm going to go ahead and put in insert as something separate. And I'm going to fill this in for y'all. Inserting into any part of the unordered array, basically you find the location, insert to it, would essentially shift everything down. So that always makes it O of n. Inserting in an unordered linked list, it's still O of n because you have to find the location to insert it. Inserting into an ordered array, again, you find the location, you have to shift everything down, O of n. And if it's an ordered linked list, again, you got to find the location, which costs O of n operations to find it. Okay, that's a lot of O of n. Let's look at our binary search tree. That's what BST stands for. What's the cost to append?
Log in.
What?
Log in.
Log in. Does everyone see that? Yeah? What's the cost to insert in the proper location?
Log in.
Log in. It's the same thing.
So the best case for both of those be O of 1? Like if you just, like if
Have you seen that video?
the tree starts out like null.
Right, so, well, it's still a log of n because the log of 0 is
Okay.
1, or essentially 1, we're going to say for the time being. All right. I'm going to go back to these values because they're not completely correct, but we're going to stick with them for now. Just little disclaimer. How about search? In an unordered array, what do you have to do to search?
You have to go through the whole
You have to go through the whole thing. Unordered linked list?
go through the whole
Yeah, go through the whole thing. An ordered array.
You can cut it in half.
You can do a binary search on an ordered array, right? Yeah, so we can do log of n. All right, how about an ordered linked list? We haven't talked about this much because it really doesn't give you much to be ordered.
You have to go through the whole.
You still have to go through the whole thing, yeah. How about a binary search tree?
Log in.
Huh. When in doubt on a binary search tree, the answer is.
Log in.
All right, everyone got that?
Yes.
Log in. Did it? Log in.
Yeah, that was good. Whew. All right. Okay. Now I said that these numbers over here are not completely correct. Can anyone take a guess why?
Because it all depends. All depends.
Perfect answer. Perfect start. Perfect start to the answer. When you don't know the answer, start with it depends. All right. Now, why does it depend? You get instant points for that.
Ah, that's good.
What could happen to our binary search tree?
It could be like all one side.
All one side. Uh-oh. Oh, no.
Which basically turns it into a linked list.
Yeah, because what if we had, 1, we had 2, we had 3, and we had 4, and we had 5, ... And then all these were pointing to nothing. If that's the case, What's the cost to append if we're having to append a O event? Oh, no. What's this one? O event. And what's this one? Is there anything we can do to fix that?
Turn into a linked list.
Turn it into a linked list. No, to fix it.
Oh.
But yeah, it turned it into a linked list by doing this, except for now you store 2 pointers and the other pointer is superfluous. Is there anything can you think of that we could do to fix this?
Yes.
Yes.
We could change root.
Right. So in this situation of just these 5 values, we could still have a linked list or a binary tree be 3 pointing to 2, which then could point to 1. This guy could point to 4. Actually, yeah, 4, and then you could point to 5.
That one would be on the left.
What?
I said the one would be on the left of the two.
Whatever.
It's bothering me.
Details.
Fine.
All right. And if we had decimals, we could fill this in with like 2.5, and then we can make this one be 3.5.
No, this is only
Why didn't you make it pi?
We're not using that.
Yeah. It's not used.
We're not going to use doubles. That's crazy talk.
Let's not
Crazy
use
talk.
characters, let's just stay in.
All right. Now, if we kept the tree like this, then we'd go back to the log vid. I can tell you right now, your project, we're not going to go through the routines to make all these things balanced. That's actually going to be project 3 for y'all. Just little heads up, future warning. But I'll talk more about that later, and you'll, trust me, it won't be as bad as project 1. Or was it as bad as project 1?
To be honest, at this point, I knew I was going to have to retake the class, so I didn't do
Oh.
it.
I love your honesty, Jonah.
I'm just throwing it out there.
They just give information.
Yeah, I was just trying to get the information for the class.
Okay. Now, we haven't talked about remove. Let's go ahead and take some guesses here. What would be the remove of an unordered array? Well, we're removing the
If you
end.
find it, then you have to then shift them all down.
Yeah. Well, no, we're removing a specific element. Let's say we want to remove the element at the end. Then it's
Oh, of 1.
O of 1. Otherwise, it's O of n. Yep. Because if it's somewhere in the middle, you got to shift everything down. O of n. All right. How about unordered or linked list? For removing the beginning or the end, it would be O of 1. Otherwise, it's O of n. How about an ordered array to remove?
Still over.
You got to find it and then O of n. Yep. Ordered linked list? Yeah, O of n. Yeah, this ordered linked list really only makes sense in certain situations like merge sort, and besides that, don't use it. All right, how about the binary search tree?
And log in.
And no, log in.
Log.
Or, at worst case.
Well, you said remove is going to be pretty tough, so I just assumed.
Remove is tough to code, but it's still a log of n. Because you just have to find it and then you shift a node up, right? Yeah. We haven't talked about too much. Or O of n. Okay. All right. Here's $1 million question. So think carefully how you phrase your answer. Which data structure is best?
It depends.
Yeah.
Malik nailed it. Nailed it. Good. All right. Good start. Depends on.
Job security.
Job security. All right. Which one? When is a linked list great?
We need to do a lot of removing and inserting because you don't have to resize a linked list.
Removing and inserting where?
At the ends.
At the ends.
And, yeah.
So that's why for a stack and a queue, a linked list is a solid data structure, because adding and removing from either end, which is what you do, is an O of 1 operation. In other words, don't use a binary search tree to implement your queue. But besides your stack and queues, let's say you wanted to store information and you wanted to quickly find it and then be able to quickly add and remove it. Which one would you want of these? Binary search tree, right? Yeah. So binary search tree is definitely going to be a better operation than the other ones. All right, is that clear? That's very important to understand for data structures. Because we're going to be moving on to others, and we're going to be asking these same exact questions over and over again. First answer, it depends. Which is best? It depends. Perfect.